Broadcasting from Studio 300 on Cal Poly's campus, you're watching Poly Playbook.
Welcome to this week's special edition of Poly Playbook, your Cal Poly Sports Recap Show. I'm Lisa Diaz. Today is Sunday, April 27th, and we have some exciting surprises coming your way. Stay tuned for our exclusive interview with one of the best coaches in all of college baseball, and hear our analysts break down some of this week's top headlines. But first, let's talk about the number one team in the country. Cal Poly Baseball's 12-game win streak is over. The team, ranked in the top 3 in all 5 major polls, lost to Long Beach State on Saturday, ending the longest current win streak in the country. Cal Poly Baseball took care of business at home on Tuesday against the San Jose State Spartans, winning 12-5, before heading down south for a 7-game road trip. In the first game of the weekend series against Long Beach State, junior Nick Torres led the team to a 6-3 victory with a clutch 2-run single in the 8th. 2 dropped fly balls led to a 3-run 4th inning for the Dirtbags that ultimately clinched the game on Saturday. The Mustangs have a chance to clinch the series on Sunday at 1. Visit mustangnews.net for complete coverage and results of the final game. Before Cal Poly headed out on this weekend's road trip, I caught up with head coach Larry Lee and talked with him about how his roots allowed him to turn this program around.
1-6-4-3. With baseball, you really have to know the game within the game. It's strategy when you're playing. It's a grind. You play a lot of games in a short period of time.
For Cal Poly head coach Larry Lee, there is no sport quite like baseball and no place quite like home. The Mustangs are taking the field as one of the best Division I teams in the country. The same field Coach Lee ran across growing up with his siblings. As a kid, Cal Poly was Coach Lee's backyard.
There's probably 2 security people on campus, and they probably knew the back of my jacket a lot better than anything else. And
Coach Lee grew up admiring his father, who coached the Mustangs in baseball, basketball, football, and boxing.
He touched a lot of people, not only in the community, but a lot of his athletes that he coached at Cal Poly.
Coach Lee began his own coaching career at nearby Cuesta College, where he in turn became a father figure to his players and assistant coaches.
My foundation wouldn't be what it is today if it wasn't for Coach Larry Lee.
Before coming to Cal Poly in 2002, Coach Lee turned the Cuesta program around and led the Cougars to 9 conference titles and 4 community college Final Four appearances.
Coach Lee could take what he's done or who he is as a coach. You could drop him anywhere in the country and he would have success.
But still here in San Luis Obispo, Lee is coaching the number 1 team in the country, according to the Collegiate Baseball newspaper poll, and the Mustangs are on an 11-game winning streak.
We've had a lot of success this year, but our next loss, which is inevitable, it's going to sting and it's going to stay with you. But the good thing about baseball is you're not waiting a week to play your next game.
But with how deep his Poly roots run, this isn't just a game, it's home.
Well, speaking of that next loss, the Mustangs dropped the second game of their 3-game series against Long Beach State. They were bothered by errors in that one, but it's okay. I think we're still going to be a strong team. What do you think? How do you think that's going to affect our rankings?
Well, I think Long Beach has historically been a strong program. Their RPI is 64th in the nation, which is definitely better than average. But I think that if they need to go deep in the playoffs, they need to cut down on their errors. There's no room for errors in the NCAA tournament, and the teams that don't make the errors are going to be going to Omaha this summer.
I think that when you're as high ranked as Cal Poly is right now, every win is boosting our rankings, and we've seen our team slowly move up to number 1 in the country. And every loss could either hurt us or not, depending on how the other 2 teams do this weekend that are up there as well. But I think as long as our starting pitchers stay strong and our team stays optimistic, we have still a really good shot at seeing our team stay up there in the rankings. So.
Yeah, I completely agree with what both of you said. Coming down to pitching and coming down to the defense, I think you see that's one thing that bothered us in this loss. Those 2 drop fly balls leading to a 4-run inning or a 3-run inning. And, and like you said, the pitching, that's something Larry Lee's talked about all years. We've got strong starting pitching, but we need, another, he's talked about maybe getting another arm in the bullpen or something like that. So, definitely both really good points, but I think we'll definitely be there in the end, definitely be a top 5 program in the future. So definitely some really exciting things in baseball, as well as in football. We have a quarterback controversy from what I understand. What do you know about that, Tom?
Well, essentially there's 2 quarterbacks, Chris Brown and Dano Graves. Chris Brown has played in 8 games last season, and Dano 6. Both of them got injured and had sporadic playing time throughout the season. But Dano is my man. The guy has killer hair, a smooth boot out to the right, and I love the way that he runs the Mustangs. If the Mustangs want to go to a Big Sky tournament, if they want to win the Big Sky tournament, they're going to need Dano in the lineup.
Well, you do make a compelling argument for Dano, but I have to disagree. I think Chris Brown is the better fit. While I don't have the way with words to back up my argument, I do think that he's a better play-action quarterback, which is something that Coach Walsh said he wanted to transition towards this year, maybe throwing the ball a little more. And, I just think Chris Brown is a little bit more mobile. He might have a little better arm. But, what do you think, Allison?
I think it could really go either way. Both are good options. Both are juniors. I don't really think it could go wrong either way. So it comes down to whatever the coach decides for the coming season.
Yeah, that's a good point. 2 juniors, on the team. They both share equal experience.
Thank you so much, guys. That was some great analysis. Now let's take it to Bob Jansen Field, where it was an emotional day Saturday as the Mustangs supported breast cancer awareness. Now, Mustangs softball slid into 2nd place in the Big West Conference with a doubleheader sweep of Cal State Fullerton. Cal Poly wore pink in support of the breast cancer awareness, and senior shortstop Kim Westland led off the game with a triple. Kim's mom, Deborah Westland, who is a survivor of breast cancer, actually threw out the first pitch in Saturday's game. Junior left fielder Emily Sakachi drove her in with a single in the first inning, and the Mustangs never looked back. Freshman pitcher Sierra Highland threw a complete game and shut out the Titans, and the Mustangs went on to win 6-0. Cal Poly hits the road to play Long Beach State this weekend as they continue conference play until the end of the regular season. You can check the results from today's game at mustangnews.net. Cal Poly men's tennis is 1 win away from the NCAA tournament. The team took all 4 points in the first match of the Big West tournament against UC Santa Barbara. Freshman standout Ben Donovan won his match 6-2 and 6-1 in straight sets on the first court. The Mustangs will take on the Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii Sunday in the tournament final. A win will send Cal Poly to their 2nd NCAA tournament in 3 years. And before they left for the tournament, we caught up with Jürgen De Jager, a key player in the team's turnaround this season, and he talked about coming back from his ACL.
Really excited to start playing again, but it's kind of game for game. It started getting better, and Nick helped me out really, really well. And I was scared of my knee, but Crystal, the trainers, and Chris, the trainer, really helped me a lot.
And Jürgen, of course, won down in Indian Wells. Now, the Cal Poly women's tennis team was eliminated from the Big West Championship at Indian Wells. On Friday, Cal Poly came into the tournament as the 7th seed, but were defeated 4-0 by 2nd seed UC Irvine. The women's team closed their spring season with a 6-11 record. Thank you for watching our weekly sports edition of Poly Playbook. You can watch this show and get all your Mustang sports updates at mustangnews.net. You can also watch our weekly 30-minute broadcast on Charter Channel 19, Campus Channel 2, and UHTV Channel 7. Have a great day, Cal Poly.